It brings to mind a conversation we had on our Iowa show last week, because I find this extremely interesting, where they currently have the sixth most NFL players on NFL rosters. They are certainly not the sixth best program in the country.
Right.
So I give them credit for taking, and most of those guys were not 5 stars or high 4 stars that they turned into NFL players. So on one hand, I give them a credit for developing guys that were under the radar to become NFL players, and not just guys that are sitting on rosters, guys that are contributing and sometimes stars. But on the other hand, why aren't they better on the field?
I mean, it's tough because Iowa year in, year out has one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. And I really think this whole Brian Ferenz drama, it's comical at this point. I mean, it's the fact that he took a pay cut, but if they score X amount of points a game, he's going to actually get a pay raise from last year. It's just that they've been so inept on offense, and we can blame Spencer Petras. We can blame, their lack of offensive skill. I mean, they are truly archaically running offensive football. They're not giving themselves any chance for success. And I think Brian Ferenz is the problem. I think everyone knows that. I think his own dad knows that. Shit, he might even know that. But how do you fire your kid?
Well, first off, you don't put your both of you in that situation.
Absolutely.
If I have that kind of pull and weight in college football, like I liken it to Mark Richt at Miami a few years ago. He brought in his son to be the quarterback's coach. He wasn't qualified. Then he puts himself in a bad spot. Yeah. When you're Mark Richt or Kirk Ferentz, you can call any school in the country and say, give my boy a job.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. You're setting him up in a good place, but don't put yourself in that position. But
ultimately, right. Like in the scope of college football, it was an extreme mismanagement by a father, right? I mean, he literally sent him to Belichick for 2 years and brought him back, and he's been with him ever since. And I mean, as a father, I get it. It's like, well, I don't really care what anyone thinks. I want my kid here. I want my grandkids here. Like, I don't really care. Fire me then. I mean, I get it on a personal level, but when it comes to the business of college football, this is just a really bad look. Really bad.
Yeah, it's one thing when you own the family business and you can say, you know what, we're going to go down swinging because, that's what it is. But when you're accountable to millions of people that follow your team and 80,000 people that pack the stadium, and you make more money than anybody in the state, you're accountable to all those folks.
Supposed to be. Supposed to be.
And like you say, when you set up a contract that basically says, is always my thought, you get a bonus for doing like exceptional work or at least good work. But to say you can basically run the 90th best offense, and that's going to be a leap for them, the 90th best offense, because that's what that kind of equates to, that 25 points per game. You can do that, and we're going to give you a bonus for that. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it was the biggest slap in the face I've seen in college athletics, maybe ever. Like, the guy should have been fired. Okay, you give him, you cut his pay and give him kind of a. I liked the hard line. I thought it was far too low, but kind of it's that out for Kirk Ferentz, right? Where if he doesn't achieve it, it's in his contract. I don't have to fire him. The contract fires him for me. So he can't be mad at me. He can't hold a grudge at Thanksgiving or Christmas morning. Like, he has to achieve this or he's out. But to tack on a massive bonus to get him back above his pay threshold, if he achieves that bare minimum, bottom of the barrel points per game number, it's just, if I was an Iowa fan, I would be livid.
Absolutely. It's completely ludicrous. And we're going to tack the 7-win minimum on it. Well, they've reached that 11 years in a row with a crappy offense.
With like 15 points or 10 points less a game. So yeah, if he achieves the points per game, they're going to win 7, right? They probably will without it.
And basically what you're telling your fan base as well is, okay, we play Iowa State and we play 2 non-cons that are gimmies. So basically we beat Iowa State 80 or 90% of the time. Basically, if we go 4-5 in the Big Ten, then we're calling that success.
Right. We're giving bonuses.